Believe it or not, and whether you like it or not, I went to university for the long time of 3 years and got an associate's degree in image, sound, and multimedia design. What does that mean, you ask? Beats me. But one of the things we've learned is how to transmit information through image, sound, and various mediums. One of the tools you need for good storytelling is being able to show without telling, through framing, colors, garments, pacing, and, of course, sound and music. Someone who is extraordinary at this last one is one Mr. Toby Fox. When it comes to telling a story through music, my favorite resource is leitmotifs, something Mr. Fox excels at. I mean, there is not a single visual to suggest a relationship between Spamton and the Mad Dummy, other than both of them living in the trash. But there sure is music that implies it. And while leitmotif is my favorite resource of music storytelling and character building, I'm not here to talk about that today. See, I was given an assignment in uni back in the day, and we'd get a score from 1 to 3. And then that would tandem to an exam that would score from 1 to 7, making it a 1 to 10 scoring total. Needless to say, I flopped the exam, but this little assignment saved my ass. This assignment asked us to analyze a piece of media, any piece of media, and while all my classmates chose frames of movies they had watched in other classes or movies they liked, I could not get this song out of my head, especially its introduction. For the analysis of this song, let me introduce you to the main concept and name of this class, semiotics. Semiotics is the systematic study of sign processes and the communication of meaning. In semiotics, a sign is defined as anything that communicates intentional and unintentional meaning or feelings to the sign's interpreter. To make it more understandable, semiotics is big when it comes to logo design. A sign can be visual or, in this case, audible. I said we were going to use the introduction of this song, but where is the sign? Well, let's see if you catch it. Yeah, pretty much it's the bell.
Yeah, bell.
So we've got our sign, but what is it communicating and why? I'll bring up my favorite semiotics book that we read, which is Roland Barthes' Mythologies and the Semiotic Challenge. He basically deconstructed signs or myths into a denotative meaning and a connotative meaning. He also explained how myths are social constructions that are naturalized by people in positions of power to uphold the status quo they seem convenient to keep themselves in power. But that's besides the point. So, he made this diagram to explain how these communication systems work. Firstly, we have the object, or signifier, say
a rose.
Then we have the signified, which is its literal meaning, a flower with X, Y, and Z characteristics. We have our first sign. This is called denotation, the literal meaning of the rose object. This is called a language system. This meaning, this result, is itself transformed into the signified of a second language system. Here, the sign of the rose is attributed another signified, its connotation, usually socially constructed. It gives the rose the meaning of, depending on the color, romantic love, passion, appreciation, etc. Now we have our second system sign, also known as myth. So we have our system and how it works. You keeping up? Jiggle jiggle, you with me? Let's go back to Undertale. And our signifier, the bell. Signified would be a metal object with a funky shape that when you hit it, it makes funky sound. And that's our first system sign. But let's hear our signifier again, just to specify it a bit more. This is not a bicycle bell, not a doorbell, not a ring bell.
What does this one mean?
It's this bell. Now that's our second system signifier. Something more similar to a church bell, playing slowly, solemnly. Not like how it rings when someone just got married or when mass is starting. It's got a lot more space in between hits. This is a funeral bell. Now let's put it in context, because when we first listen to the song, it's not in an isolated manner. It's intertwined within a story. We're about halfway into our genocide route. We've killed everyone and everything that came in our path the moment that we arrived to the underworld. And as we are about to add another soul on our list, we meet the soldier who's been attacking us as she jumps in between you and that kid, saving their life with hers. With her last breaths, she speaks of her friends, her people, the ones she's supposed to protect, the ones you destroyed. But she's not going away. She speaks words of resilience, resistance, and a clear, undying determination to strike you down. You're gonna have to try a little harder than that. This bell signifies you are going to die. And you do, because you're not winning this battle first try. Whether you know it or not, you use these fields of study, like semiotics, to tell stories all the time. I don't know if Toby Fox chose that bell having all of this in mind, or went, man, this sounds cool as shit, add it to the track. But truth is, things like these are everywhere, and not just in storytelling, but the way we see the world, and the way other people have taught us how to see the world. It's the reason we feel a certain way when we see or hear some things. Think of the sense of dread you feel when you start this battle with Undyne. Things like semiotics are tools that, when understood, you can use properly to upscale the impact you have on the consumer. Toby Fox's storytelling ability allows him to send the player specific messages and sensations using a single sound. That doesn't just allow him to know the meaning of the sound, but the faculty of knowing how to use it as a means of communication. But hey, that's just an essay I made in uni. A game essay I made in uni. Thanks for coming to my talk.